This is the United States Air Force Academy. Our mission is to provide the instruction and experience to all cadets so they graduate with the knowledge and character essential to leadership and the motivation necessary to become career officers in the United States Air Force. The program you're about to view deals with the first step toward that mission, Basic Cadet Training, or BCT. It's tough, both physically and mentally. It's designed that way. During this extensive program, basic cadets develop the discipline, knowledge, and physical stamina needed to become members of the cadet wing. Your job, challenge. Once you've parted company with family and friends, your training begins.
This is your second in-processing station. The main thing to remember today is military bearing. While you're going through the lines, you will be expected to act in a military manner. You will be required to use the 5 basic responses. They are, yes, sir, no, sir, no excuse, sir, sir, may I make a statement, and sir, may I ask a question.
In processing, here the basics are measured for uniforms and surrender their personal items. They pick up shoes and begin a series of physical exams. And that's just the beginning. In processing is also the first chance to meet new roommates. For the most part, they'll be a lot like you. They too were leaders in their schools, athletes, scholars, and active in extracurricular activities. Qualities needed to complete the 4-year program at the Academy.
I really didn't want to get my hair cut. It's not quite as bad as it could have been. It was a change.
That bothered me. I didn't have a lot of hair, but I had a shag, so the back of my hair was kind of long, and they just cut the whole thing off.
Upperclassmen will be in and out of your room, showing you how to make beds, fold and hang clothes, where to put your shoes and your rifle. You'll also be shown how to wear your uniform as you prepare for your swearing in as a new basic cadet.
The first part of basic cadet training, they come in knowing very, very little, and it's more of a teaching role all the time. You know, this is how you need to do this, and you know, and ingraining those kind of habits in them. You start formulating their basic attitudes about the military and about leadership and about life, you know, at least in the military.
The oath of allegiance is taken at the end of the first day. You and your classmates stand with hands raised, repeating the words of the oath. It's not a commitment to stay, but a promise to serve and to sacrifice. It's a commitment to do your best, a commitment to excellence.
The basic cadet day begins around 5:45 when the upper class cadre go around and make sure that they all get out of bed. Now, they're not kicking indoors anymore and screaming and yelling, but they let it be known that it's time to get up and time to get the room clean. The minute they get out of bed, they're flying. At 0600, everybody's standing in formation for reveille to salute the flag as it goes up in the morning. And right after that flag goes up, they take off down to the parade field. And on the parade field, they do various calisthenics and exercises, and then when they're done with that, and they've done that for about 30 minutes, and they're well warmed up and a little bit tired, then we take them for a run and get them acclimated to our Rocky Mountain altitude and just get them in shape for the program that's laying ahead of them.
During the first few days, you'll be tested in English, math, and other subjects to see where you'll be placed in classes in the fall. Once you're finished with these preliminary activities, you're ready to start the first half of BCT. An important part of BCT is learning how to work as a team with your new classmates. Your first exercise in teamwork is drill. During drill, you'll have the opportunity to develop confidence, military bearing, assertiveness, and other characteristics that will improve your ability to work with people. Recognizing the need for authority and discipline, following orders promptly and precisely, learning how your individual actions affect the performance of the group. These are all lessons learned on the drill field. Basics are continually being tested. Training during the first half of BCT is filled with physically demanding activities, from physical conditioning in the morning to intramurals in the afternoon. These tests are to build self-discipline, singleness of purpose, humor, and a sense of pride and accomplishment in themselves. To meet the challenge, you'll be asked to extend yourself beyond previous personal limits. You must reach deep inside yourself to find the courage and determination. Throughout basic cadet training, you're constantly being tested on fourth-class knowledge. Knowledge is the quotes and other information from the Contrails Handbook that you must memorize and repeat to any cadre member who asks for the information. In addition to the quotes, this book introduces you to basic military concepts. The Air Force and its heritage, the Academy, the Cadet Military Program, as well as other military services. The purpose behind developing this knowledge is to get you acquainted with the Air Force, its history, its heroes, and its traditions. All of the training is done by upperclassmen under the close supervision of Air Force officers and enlisted personnel. This provides the upper-class cadet with the opportunity to use the leadership and management training they've acquired during their years at the Academy. Physical fitness tests, also known as PFTs, are given several times during BCT. Basics are tested as to the number of chin-ups, sit-ups, and push-ups they can do. They're tested in the standing broad jump and the 600-yard run. During the physical fitness tests, basics see how they measure up to the rest of the class, as well as see how they're progressing in their own physical development. Physical conditioning doesn't stop with PFT, though. Each afternoon, basics participate in intramurals. The intramurals offer a myriad of sports for basics to compete in: football, basketball, team handball, and tennis, just to name a few. Besides being another exercise in teamwork, intramurals also allow the basics a chance to have more personal contact with the upper-class cadre.
You have to take these people, get them into a group, and get them excited about something. You know, if you stand up there and you tell them that you're going to demand these standards of excellence from them, and it's, you know, inherently obvious that you're not meeting those standards yourself, then the credibility factor goes way down.
Not all of the basics time is spent in physical activity. There's academic classes, which consist of military customs and courtesies, human relations, and most importantly, the honor code. The code states that cadets will not lie, steal, or cheat. That's simple enough. It also states that no cadet will tolerate any of these acts by any other cadet. This may be a difficult departure from the don't rat on a friend concept that you lived with in high school. But when you think of the responsibilities you'll be taking on as officers, you begin to see there's no room in the officer corps for dishonesty.
Personal integrity should never be compromised in terms of covering for a friend. All right? That's especially true when you all become officers. That no matter what happens, in any situation, you should never compromise your own integrity, your own honesty, your own loyalty to the code.
Most cadets come to the Academy to fly. During BCT, basics receive orientation rides on several forms of military aircraft, ranging from single-engine trainers to helicopters.
Well, I enjoyed soaring. I'd never been up in a plane or anything of that type before, and so the soaring ride was my first experience. It was a really neat feeling, being up in the air and looking down at all the land.
It was just like floating. I mean, it was so much fun. I can't even tell you. Like running barefoot in the rain. That's just how I could describe it. If you like to fly, this school is the place. You have so many opportunities. You could go to Princeton or Harvard or Caltech and learn about flying, but here you get to experience it. That puts the school in a whole new perspective. That puts it above anything else.
The basics also get a chance for some simple relaxation during the duly dining out.
That was a good break to give you a break from everyone, and it got a chance to know people, and really, you know, it made you realize, again, hey, I'm not the only one going through this.
The duly dining out offers the basics a chance to spend a Sunday afternoon with some classmates in the home of an Academy officer or non-commissioned officer. There is also time set aside for religious worship and quiet meditation.
I never prayed so much in my life as I did during this. Even in Jax Valley, I went to church a couple times. First of all, they give you some religious material, special prayers and stuff like the cadet prayer. And I found I can really relate to this. Like when I was having a hard time, like running or something, sometimes it helped me a lot to think of a part of that prayer.
Perhaps the most difficult test of the basics intestinal fortitude is the obstacle course. Basics must negotiate themselves over, under, around, and through 14 obstacles, each with its own unique challenge.
You have to keep jogging in place the whole time. Push-ups and jogging in place. You never rest. The constant motion, you get really tired, and the commanders, they really push you hard. They don't give you a break because they know that people have come through there before and finished it. So what makes you so different that you have to stop and rest when you could probably do it if you really put out the extra 10% or the extra 20%.
You guys are for time, basics for time. Hurry up, basics. Keep your hands with your hips. That away, that away, that away. Swing inside, stop.
Mister, you get up and do it again. Swing your feet to the inside. Belly. Get on your belly. Stay on your belly. Get out there. Go on, go on. As high as you can, mister. Get him up, basic. Go.
The second half of BCT centers around an encampment called Jax Valley. You and your classmates will hike 5 miles out to this wooded area where you will participate in numerous combat-related activities. In this environment, you'll see what teamwork and coordination really mean. Your stay starts with setting up your tents. These are your quarters for the time you'll be in the valley. For some, living in the great outdoors takes a little getting used to.
You wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's cold, you have to jump out of your sleeping blanket. It was fun though, you know, it was like roughing it in the woods kind of thing. But when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're looking at things differently. Later on in the afternoon when it gets warm, you start to say, hey, this isn't bad, you know. You get really close with a lot of people because you're not just with your roommates, you're with several different people, a whole group.
As mentioned before, the purpose of the trip to the valley is to see how well you and your classmates work in a combat environment. The Leadership Reaction Course tests the ability of the basics to evaluate combat situations and decide the proper course of action. Action which in a real combat environment can save their lives.
Here at the Leadership Reaction Course, we have 12 obstacles whose purpose is to give the basics a chance to think for themselves. For the last 3 to 4 weeks, they've been told everything to do and when to do it. But here on our obstacles, we present them with a problem and give them a chance to figure out how they're going to solve it, how to take care of the individuals and the team needs.
Most cadets consider this the toughest part of BCT. This is the assault course. This course teaches armed combat, which dramatically and visibly demonstrates the concept that the military ultimately trains for combat.
Go, sir! You're doing it again. You three, stay there and wait.
It's tough. There's no two ways about it. The cadre are pushing you all the way as you tackle barriers in a realistic assault against the enemy. Another challenge in Jax Valley is the confidence course. Its purpose, implied by its name, is to develop self-confidence. You may not complete all of them the first time, but the idea is to keep trying. It's an individual challenge to your own will to succeed. This is a real test of your can-do attitude.
Welcome to the Tilton Hilton. This is one of the 4 high obstacles. It's also one of the most difficult.
You'll also participate in other group and individual combat training exercises. There's weapons training exercises where you'll fire a .38 pistol and an M16 rifle. There's the recondo training where you and a small group of classmates must venture into the woods to search for a downed pilot and bring him back safely.
All along the way, they're given a simulated combat environment, high pressure. Decisions that they make, if we're in a real combat environment, would be life and death decisions about who would move out and when, and there would be a calculated casualty loss.
With the breaking down of camp, the Valley days are over, except, of course, for the march back to the cadet area. The end of BCT is in sight, and for the basics, the march back from Jax Valley is a time for reflection on the training received thus far and for their next 4 years at the Academy. There's one challenge left during BCT, Athletic Field Day. Squadrons compete against squadrons in such games as tug of war, relays, distance runs, and the wall climb. The highlight of the day's activities is when the superintendent pins the winning streamer on the winning squadron's guidon. This is a key emphasis. Acceptance into the cadet wing is the final step in the basic cadet training. By this time, the rest of the cadet wing has returned from their summer programs, and you'll be receiving your shoulder boards at the acceptance parade. You're now an official member of the cadet wing. You'll start to notice for the first time all summer, everyone is smiling. In looking back over the BCT, you'll begin to appreciate the upper-class cadre and the tasks they've put you through during the summer. You've gained spirit, toughness, patience, and a pride in teamwork. You are physically and mentally prepared for the challenges of your 4th class year. This, then, is basic cadet training. What does the Academy expect from you? First and foremost, come to the Academy because you want to be here. Then ask yourself, do you have what it takes to be a cadet? Are you willing to learn? And are you willing to work harder than you've ever worked before? Not everyone makes it through BCT. Once you're here, though, the people at the Academy will do everything they can to help you succeed. However, the single most important ingredient in your success is your own personal motivation. You must want to become a cadet and be willing to work hard in order to remain a cadet. If you think you have what it takes to be a cadet, come to the Academy. But again, come to the Academy because you want to be here, not for your parents, friends, coaches, or anyone else. Remember, above all, the challenge is yours.